Well, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me today here at Bobo Vun's So Vintage Life. I'm Lisa, a vintage inspired dressmaker and dressmaking teacher. If you've visited before and you subscribe, you already know that. And if you're new, then a big hello to you. Lovely to have you join me here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you some of my vintage finds, catching up a little bit with things I've made and works in progress. So it's a general kind of everything and anything kind of catch up because my head is busy with ideas. So I thought I'd put that out there so that you can also have a busy head with ideas and maybe inspired then to go on and add to your sewing list. So I shall see you in a moment. Before I share everything with you, let's talk about what I'm wearing. On the top half, anyway, you will see the bottom half in a little while. I'm wearing the blouse that I have talked about on here. I was showing you some of the progress and I showed you how I drafted the collar with the pleats. And I've done some lovely fancy cuffs. Just to a quick recap, this is this Wearing History smooth sailing blouse. Made in a cream crepe that I planned to underline in a black polka dot tulle, but it just looked grey and murky. So I made a blouse and I've got enough to use for another project I've got coming up. So the body is the smooth sailing blouse. Then I've used the sleeves from Simplicity. I'll pop the patterns up because I cannot remember the name off the top of my head. I decided to not write notes for this and just talk. So yeah. Pictures will help with the details. So different sleeves because I wanted the long sleeves, and then the collar I altered on the smooth sailing. I've done this a few times now. I've curved the tips and then I wanted the ruffle. So it's all inspired from the movie The Dig. Loved a lot of Carey Mulligan's wardrobe. Definitely want to make the cord sort of like 3/4 length. I don't know, they're not plus fours, they're not knee length, I can't remember what you'd call them. I have got the pattern for those, so one day I will get round to making those also. See those with a waistcoat. This blouse I always imagined underneath jumper dresses or a waistcoat, of which I am in progress with at the moment, making a waistcoat. But obviously it looks lovely on its own. Now, just as a little aside, I have never worn blouses until recently. I'm 6 foot and I've got rather long arms. Maybe I haven't got long arms, but just when you're tall, your limbs are noticeably longer. And even though clothes are made for tall people now, they think tall is like 5'10", 5'11". Well, I'm 6 foot. My daughters are 6'3" and 6'4". That's what I call tall, you know. And so we struggle to find anything that fits, and I know fitting is an issue for all women, whatever height of size you are. Unfortunately, if you're tall or short, you can't become taller or you can't become shorter. But the patterns aren't out there and the clothes aren't out there to adapt to our needs. And of course our length could be in different places. I'm very long in my body, so I'm taller than my daughters when I sit down beside them. They're taller when they stand up because they've got longer legs. So it's how it's all proportioned. Even though they are in height taller than me, you know, we're still proportioned in different ways, and that affects the clothes that you make. So when I would try on blouses, when I bought ready to wear, and I'm thinking like from younger, you know, growing up, the sleeves would always finish me here, which obviously the cuff was designed to fit around a narrower wrist, so I could never do the cuff up because it would then be too narrow to go around the wider part of my arm. So everything was in the wrong place. It felt very uncomfortable, and you don't want to have sleeves that are too short. It always looks like you couldn't afford to buy clothes or you shrunk them. As I've got a bust, you know, I don't know if you can see it here where I'm sitting. Can I tilt the camera down? Let's move the camera down. Maybe you can see between my boobs. I don't have that poking, that stretch. They fit nicely between my bust. Let's put the camera back where I want it to be again. Ooh, pretty face. It won't move up. There we go. So I can then make a blouse to actually fit my bust, fit across my shoulders, which are very, very narrow. If we look on pattern grading, I've got a size 6 shoulder, even though I'm a 12 here and a 16 on my bust. And my waist is an 18, so there's all these sizes going on, and then obviously longer arms. So to actually make a blouse that fits in all those places and is comfortable is just a real boon. And I've only recently really got bothered by making blouses in the last 2-3 years, and I just love it. I always, for my buttons, never follow the patterns, instructional buttons. I would put my finished blouse on me, and then I would place the pins where I want the buttons to be, so I know that it's held securely and I'm not going to get boob and bra flashage? Flashing? Yeah, whatever. It's another word. But you know what I mean. I wouldn't normally have it done up quite so high, but I just thought I'd do up all the buttons. And I've got the lovely Pearly Kings jackets buttons on here that my friend gave me, all taken off a Pearly Kings jacket. So if, can we go for a close-up of this collar? Let me move over. So can you see the rows? I did gold top stitching, 3 rows. It's not the neatest because it's quite bulky working through, but did the rows of top stitching and the pleats I've got in there. And then I've matched, you see the top stitching, it's a slightly different button on here, the gold top stitching on there, the sleeve cuff. So yes, totally thrilled. Get my hand in front of the thing. I told you I'm learning as I go with this new camera. So that's the blouse. I'm really chuffed with it. I'm wearing it with the Butterick 6055 skirt. Should I just stand up rather than giving you a full length view? See the tartan? Yes. So you'll get a full length view in some moment or other. Now in terms of sewing news, I'm still working on my jacket because I want to film for you how to make your own shoulder pads, and I haven't done that yet, so I can't put my lining in, which I've already sewn, until I've made the shoulder pads and put them in, and then I can put the lining in. So we'll go through all that together as well. So that's a work in progress, and underneath I have got a waistcoat toile I'm working on, so I'll go over to my mannequin in a moment and show you that. But being lazy while I'm sitting here, I'm just going to carry on talking to show you some things. So I've been really excited about creating this jacket because I'm getting a bit Tuppence Beresford obsessed, and I found a cardigan that I was halfway through, I'm nearly finished, that is the right yellow to go under that jacket to match the outfit. To make the blouse, this just came today. I ordered this from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn. I just googled cream lace to make the blouse. Now Tuppence's blouse isn't lace all over, it's just bits of lace overlaid around the collar, but I decided I wanted a totally lace blouse. So can you see this? It's really soft, lovely lace. And I've got enough of this cream, not with the brooch, doesn't show. I'm going to underline it with this cream crepe, and I will be cutting away some of the pieces. You'll see what I mean as I do it. I'm really excited. This will be another work in progress. And then I've got to make the black trousers to go with it. I'm just looking where to put this. So I'm going to make the black trousers. So I'm getting my outfit together, and I've made the beret. So I can't wait to share all of that with you and talk more about Tuppence and Thomas with you. So the other exciting news, last week when I was teaching on the Saturday, I finished earlier, so I had some free time, so I nipped to my local fabric store to get supplies, and bumped into some old students. It was really lovely, chat to them. A very dear friend was in there, so we had a good chat and a catch up, and we've arranged, I think it's next week, we're going to have a whole sewing day together at her place with a picky lunch she's going to make, so really looking forward to that. Always get really inspired being in her company. So I'm filling my hair. My hair is desperate for a cut, due this Friday. Because I've got such thick hair, I hardly ever wash it just because it just weighs it down, but it just gets a bit, there's just too much of it to deal with. So when it was long, it was just ridiculous, even though I miss having long hair. So after I was in the fabric shop, got my supplies for my workshops for this week. So I taught a new fitting class last night, which was lovely, and then we're making patterns on Sunday. So I was getting all my supplies for those. I thought I'll just pop over the road to the charity shop, the one that always seems to deliver. It's always delivered sewing stuff, patterns, knitting patterns, vintage, of course, being my love, but never ever found vintage fabric. I couldn't believe my luck. Well, it's not even luck, it's just believe my eyes, you know. There was this cotton, this slightly glazed cotton, absolutely beautiful, and by the width of it I think it's 1960s because it's slightly wider width, but 7.5 meters of this for £22. So I already know what I'll be doing with that in the spring. It'll be the Vintage Vogue, I'll pop that because I can't remember the number again, but the one where you cut it on the bias so you get the chevrons of the stripes. So definitely be making that into that. Then this is definitely 50s, 3.5 meters of this one. Don't know if the richness of it will convey. It's sort of hot pink, magenta, rich blue roses and the green. I mean, gaudy maybe, you know, it's certainly in your face, but God, I love it. It's very silky sort of fabric. I don't like the underside, so I'd definitely be lining it. I wouldn't want that next to my skin, but it's a very satiny fabric. I'm not quite sure of the composition of it, but it's just really stunning. And what I'm going to make it into, this is the plan anyway, time allowing, because of course we're coming up to that time of year, aren't we, where I will be making gifts for other people, I'm teaching, yeah, so it's the crazy time of year and I want to enjoy it all. But I'm hoping to be making it in this pattern here, Butterick, let me remind myself, 6590, and I can see it, hopefully I'd have enough to make the full skirt and the long sleeve if not short. And then later I will make this one because I've got some leopard print that I had from last year that would go for that. I have issues with this pattern. I tried drafting it before, so I will tell you that in a moment. But yeah, I can see that in that because going to a Christmas swing dance. I don't know if I've told you, but before it, my love and I were going to swing dance classes, Lindy Hop. I absolutely loved it. He wasn't as convinced. I think for men it's quite nerve-wracking because they have to lead. So yeah, it became a bit of a stressful thing for him. I hope he'll want to do it with me again one day because I loved it so much. And the clothes that I wear and feeling the skirt swirl around and being held by a man and put out in the dance moves, and it was just everything. And I've always wanted to do it. So I really, really miss that. But one of the ladies, one of my sewing classes, she plays the trumpet in a big band. And she told us that there's this Christmas dance that they're playing at the beginning of December. So I told all the different people in my classes that'd be a really nice sewing club, like Christmas do. So we'll be booking the tickets. She said how lovely, because I've never had like our own fan club. You know, we were laughing, so I'll make banners to hold up for us. And we're all obviously making our lovely clothes to go. So I'm really looking forward to that. And you never know, I might see some people that I knew from the old dance classes and hopefully they'll pick me up and give me a whirl. So I better practice some of the moves, haven't I? So at least I can do some of the footwork before I go. So that's the plan with that dress. Really hope it happens. I can see that being a really lovely Christmassy sewing outing dress. But I will show you my issue with the pattern now and what I've got to do with the redrafting of it. Can you see that line drawing in there? So you get to see what the bodice is like of this pattern. I like doing a lot of flat tissue fitting where I pin the pattern together or just lay it on me. So I found the size of one. I'll turn back the seam allowance so I can put it in the right place on my shoulder. And same for that centre line. So find it in the centre. And can you already see on me, that's my fullest bust point. You know, that's my bust apex. So I already know that the dart is far too high. That's got to be moved down. And this is where the pattern ends, and this is where my bra wire is. So it definitely needs to go past my bra wire and have a seam allowance on it. So if I lengthen it to move the whole bust dart down, I'm going to end up making this V at the neckline even deeper. So I'm going to have to lengthen it at this point, you know, the very narrow point, and bring it down the amount I need and move the bust dart down. So that's what I'm going to have to do, and I've got to do it on both halves because this is not a symmetrical pattern because you've got the fold over at the neck. So yeah, I've got to do a bit of faffing and fiddling to get that to work, but that's always the case because I've got a long upper body. My patterns always fit from my bust to my waist on normal bodices, but when they're ones that have got a midriff, they're always a bit of a faff for fitting. So yeah, hold your pattern on you. Sorry, squeaky floorboard there. Hold your pattern on you. It's a really good way of just getting that first feel for where there might be some issues with the pattern and what you might need to alter. The waistcoat pattern I chose to use, in the end, I've got various waistcoat patterns and I chose to use this one. It's this one up here with the, what do you call it, you know, like the little, oh, my brain with words, but the bits that go down, and it's a clearer picture of it here. And it's got fabulous instructions, obviously not loads being a vintage pattern, but it's here. And I'm going to totally line it. So I'm working on a draft for that, and then hopefully I can make quite a few. I kind of picture one in a cream sort of slubby linen as well, and maybe some cord ones, you know, lovely needle cord. So I've got a hair sort of tickling the side of my head. So that's what I see the waistcoat in, but obviously the first one, it's got to be in this that I got from Till the Sun Goes Down at the Knitting and Stitching show. And I can absolutely see this blouse under this tartan to go with the skirt that I'm wearing at the moment, and I add to lots of my dresses, the Butterick 6055, so I'm making it in black. I'm sure this won't show up, but you can just see my hand going in a hole, which is a pocket. So making a lot of staples, you know, for my wardrobe, classic staples. I've had some real fun and games with this skirt. It's a drill cotton from Fabric Godmother, so it's got a really obvious right and wrong side, and never sew black things at night time unless you've got amazing eyesight. I always cock up, but I never ever learn. So, sorry, this hair is driving me. There, I've got it. Hooray! I got the hair. It's really tickling me. Oh, and if you notice this bit of audio sounds so much better, it's because I filmed the rest and forgot to plug my microphone in. So, oh, yeah, I really am learning as I go. The quality keeps changing on the film, so, yeah, we're still a work in progress here. But you bear with me, so thank you for that. Anyway, my skirt, it's 4 panels, so, you know, that's your centre with the front cut like so, and then the back in the same. And to put the pockets on, obviously I attach all 4 bits, but leave the back open so I can flat sew in these lovely rounded pockets. So I sewed up my centre front seam, what I thought was the centre front seam, and then went to sew on the side seams, and somehow I didn't pin the right side seam in. I'd pinned the skirt sides together, so I ended up with a tube. So I couldn't believe that, so I unpicked all of that and pulled out all the loose threads. Then I pinned in the skirt sides, and I thought, well, that's really weird because they're a little bit longer than the front, and I know I cut this really accurately. Still, the penny did not drop. Sewed them, and then I could faintly see the chalk markings that I'd put for the skirt pockets, and they were both in the centre rather than on the sides where they should be. From that I realised that where I'd sewn the centre front, which should be the skirt sides, to attach to the back sides. So loads and loads of unpicking, and it's coming along right now. I just think it's heartening because whenever I tell my students things that I get wrong, they really love it because they always think that, oh, I'm never going to get to where you are because you've been doing it for so long. Of course they will if you put in the hours, but they think you don't make mistakes, and it's really good to own your mistakes because we all make mistakes. We are human beings, and then we can celebrate the things that go right, can't we? So that's what I did with the skirt. Now here we are with Foxy Lady with my lovely jacket and the band buttonholes, which again I'm happy to show you how to do if you'd like. And that's all hand sewn in the back. So what I love about using couture techniques, you know, is the attention to detail, you know, the hand sewing of the finishing parts. So yeah, it's all like this inside at the moment. And then I've got my lining. This was I can't remember what the composition is, but it's from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn. I did buy this. It's black with like a floral motif on it. I did buy it to make another Vampire's Wife inspired dress, but I just thought, you know, that would be absolutely perfect for lining my jacket. So that's where I'm at the moment. Got to do the shoulder pads, as I said. And you end up with these very, very long orangutan arms before you make the cuffs. I know when I first made this swing jacket, it was hanging on Foxy Lady, and all my family said, Mum, I think you've gone wrong with the sleeves. You know, they're just, well, not all my family, because my love does not call me Mum, fortunately. That would be really weird. There's probably some people in that kind of relationship. Unfortunately, he doesn't call me Mum. But yeah, he thought I'd made ridiculously long sleeves on my coat. Underneath, we've got the waistcoat toile that I'm working on. I'll just grab that pattern for you again. You know, so it's this one here, of which I have various vintage patterns. So this was a linen, enzyme washed linen dress that I made one summer, and I really wasn't quite happy with the waist. I think I got a bit too high and I could have altered it and do some other things that needed doing to it. So I took it apart, and this is me reusing it, and I've got enough left to actually make the waistcoat up in this if this doesn't work as a wearable toile, which I don't think it will, because I might have to do a full bust adjustment. I definitely need to lengthen the back, but I'm really happy with a lot of the fit and the adjustments that I've done to this. The annoying thing is I stupidly, because I thought if this is going to be a wearable toile, and I always tell my students in fitting class, stay stitch the necklines on your toiles, because then if they stretch out, you don't know if you've got the sizing incorrect or it's just the fabric stretched out, and I totally forgot to do that, so that's stretched out, which is a bit annoying, but I could work around that. Anyway, so got all the sizing right, and then the back, I actually, rather than cutting it on the fold as the pattern and as a woman's waistcoat would be, I've done it with a back section because I wanted to work out how much I needed to take it in or let it out by, and you know, I've moved the darts where they are, so that's why I've got that on there. And then I'm going to fully line it, so that will finish all the neckline, you know, the arm side, everything. It'll finish it off really well, and the bottom. So that's where we're at with it. So hopefully very soon I will get that finished, because I've been wanting to wear a waistcoat for a few years now. I made my love one about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. I think I sat up to about 3 in the morning sewing it for him. I need one for me now, and then probably more, because I'm going to really love it. So thank you for joining me today. It was really lovely having you here, as always. I love your comments and your feedback. I've noted that you would like some more information on zips, so that will be coming up in the foreseeable future, I absolutely promise. Always demonstrating zips in my classes. Yeah, it's a constant. Lots of unpicking them to then be showing them again. So yeah, I will do that for you in the next few weeks. Any questions about anything in today's video, please ask or comment away, and I think I'll have to just sign off for now. Yeah, please subscribe, please comment, please like if you don't want to miss my videos, and until next time, happy sewing and have a lovely time and look after yourselves. Bye bye.